focus. Focus. Let's try and get this sorted. This lens. You ready? Are you rolling? Well, hello guys, and welcome to yet another video. This should be the second video in my on my YouTube platform. Before we go any further, let me just right off the bat start by apologizing for not posting. When I started this journey of creating content for YouTube, I thought since I've got the camera, I might as well create content and it'll be quite easy. The spot that I've chosen today is it's not very busy, but when the traffic does come through, it's quite noisy. So just gonna wait for this car to pass, and then we'll continue. Right, great. I think that's good now. So anyway, back to the story. I thought it was going to be quite easy to be able to post frequently on YouTube, but work always gets in the way, and of course with the pandemic happening in 2020, it has kind of slowed things down a bit. So all this to say that I haven't really posted as much as I'd want to. But today, well, I want to attempt a shot that I've been really wanting to do for a long time. It's I can't say bucket list. I think bucket list shots are those once in a lifetime things. This is definitely not a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, I could come here anytime and redo this shot if I'm not happy, but I've been wanting to do it for quite a while. I wanted to do like a cityscape shot with sort of like a series of photos stitched together, and I figured today is as good a day as any. Since I was in the neighborhood, I figured let me attempt that. So we are chasing light as usual. Being a sunset shot, I would want to capture some of the sunset showing through reflecting on the buildings. But like I said, we're chasing time, and I have to make sure that I get the shot before the sun goes down and before it's too dark. So let's set up the tripod and let's get cracking. All right, catch you in a bit. All right, so I figured let me take you through the process of the setup rather than just do like a montage. Flip the screen around just so I can see what I'm shooting. This is the view that I want to get at, and I don't know if you can see it properly, but it covers quite a bit. It's quite a bit of an expanse. I have to try and get rid of some of this foliage right here in the foreground so that doesn't come out in the shot. There's a very nice glow of sun coming out right above on that side. Sorry, right above on the left end of the frame. So we'll see if more sunlight will peek through that. That'll be an epic shot. Okay, I've come up with a location which I think will be great for what I'm trying to do, and staged my tripod right there so that I can capture that. There's a few people in this part of the town. I was gonna say neck of the woods, but we're still in the city. It's just that we're in the fringes of the city, and there are people who are passing through and trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Sometimes as a photographer, you just have to kind of ignore them and just do your thing, because if you become too self-conscious or too self-aware, you'll not get anything done. Okay, so I'm not one for settings. I'm not a settings geek. So this is more of just my journey into photography and how I'm taking this shot. and really I might touch on a few specifics of how I'm going to shoot it, but I'll put the actual camera settings that I would have used on the screen there as I take the shot. But just to let you know that since there's such a wide angle of view that I want to capture, I want to capture them in vertical shots. I'll take a series of vertical shots, and I'm thinking that would also limit the amount of distortion that I get between frames and on the buildings themselves. It is important, however, that when you're taking a landscape shot, because on one end of the frame there's gray clouds, and on the other end there's some sunlight peeking through. The lighting, if you're going to use an auto traffic, if you're going to use an auto setting on your camera, the frames that you're going to get are going to be different. So it's important, very important, that you keep your camera in manual, and that you understand what you're doing with the manual settings. Very easy. There's lots of tutorials online in terms of how to shoot with manual settings on your camera. Now I think we're getting into some orange light right above my head over here. And I know in this particular frame it's not orange, but anyway. White balance, gotta fix that in post. But yeah, let's grab our frames before it gets too dark, and then we will not be able to see any of the buildings. All right. All right. So the initial set of shots that I've taken, they look good, pretty good. What I've noticed in camera is that I'm quite a distance away from the city, from the city center. So because of that distance, hold on, let me fix this frame a little bit. Don't have to slouch down. Okay. So because of that distance, there's a lot of foreground that I have to capture as well. And for the most part, the foreground is not interesting. It's just, wild grass growing. In post-production, I can be able to stitch them together and still have a lot of foreground so that I can play around with some kind of vignetting so that I remove focus from the foreground and put it onto the distance where the buildings are, and which is really the subject of this shot. So I've taken the first few shots using this 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens, and I didn't get as close to the buildings as I wanted to. So I'm going to switch it up for a 70 to 300 and try and see if I can get a much closer shot onto the buildings. It may mean that I have to capture less of the foreground, more of the sky, but at least I'll be close enough to the buildings so that you could see a whole lot more detail, because I think detail is key in this shot. If you can be able to pinpoint the fine intricacies of the buildings, then I think that will make for a much better photo. So let's switch over from this kit onto the 300mm zoom and see if we can get closer. Look, the sun has gone down, and we're now shooting at ISO 400, so I think effectively we have harvested as much sunlight as we could. And that's just the thing with the landscape photography here. You work with the given light on the day. You can't create your own light like in a studio or something. So I think I'm pretty happy with the shots that I took, and I hope that it does not become one of those anticlimax things in post-production. Trust me, I've taken a lot of shots where you get home, you sit down on the computer, and you're like, it's not coming out as much as I would want it to, or as great as I thought it would. So I hope this will be different. I'm just gonna go ahead right now and show you the final result of those images, and I hope that you guys like them, and I hope that you subscribe so that you can see more content like this. The idea is really to try and show the beauty of this country, Zimbabwe, that we live in. There's a lot of negative images online, and you just do a simple image search for Zimbabwe on Google or any one of the search platforms, and you will see pictures of violence, pictures of hunger and poverty, and there is another side to this country that a lot of people don't see, and I hope through these vlogs and me posting a whole lot more pictures, you will be able to see how beautiful this country is. For those that are interested, please just go on my Facebook page, just search for Tinashe Daniel Kavumbura photography, and you should be able to pick it up there. Like that page, and you'll be updated on more of the shoots that I do. I am considering creating a website, a personal website. I'm not quite sure whether it will just have photography on it, because I don't do that much photography to be able to put it on a website, or at least that's what I think. And I haven't really started selling any prints. I don't know if I have a plan to sell prints. A few friends of mine have asked me if I could do a large format print for them. So far, I haven't really gotten to the stage of creating these photos for the sole purpose of printing them out. So I'm not sure what the website will carry. Maybe it will carry a few of my blogs for design, my thoughts and stuff like that. But who knows? If this pandemic continues to go for as long as people envisage it to be, then I might just bump up the ISO. Okay, I might consider putting up my website, because who knows, you might just have the time to do it. But just watch the space, and I'll keep you posted. As for now, stay safe, guys. As you can see, this space is quite empty, so I am fully practicing my social distancing guidelines. I hope you guys stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next video. Right, peace.